structure.
Right. So, okay, so what we're talking about is doing the point of purchase display, and we don't have to show them the design yet because we're going to be sending this out to a couple of dozen different potential manufacturers. We don't want them to see our designs in advance.
Yeah.
So you just need to show them the structure. But the thing is, it's not only the outline and the dimensions, you've got to show it as this is side one, side two, side three, side four,
Yeah.
and that they're connected. So,
Yes.
okay, did you do that one?
No, like because doing sites is kind of easier parts. I thought because for me making stabilizer was hardest parts.
But the stabilizer, okay, I'll go through the stabilizer in this.
So I made the first site, and if it's right, I can do.
Well, okay, so let's go through this. So,
So I kind of made first page and the last page, I think.
so this is your first side, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's. Can I blow this up? Okay. So the thing is that the problem is first front and back view of cardboard tower. Okay. So you're not naming the things properly. So you can call this, you can call it front view, you can call it back view. Okay. Take off the word of. Okay. And this is interior shelving, you might want to call it. Interior,
Okay.
what?
Okay.
So you don't call things part, like middle part, top part, base part, right? So you'd call it interior shelving. Okay. And then the there the top and the base part, right? They're going to be very confused about how this fits in because it's at the wrong angle. In other words, this is one continuous piece of cardboard, let's say.
Mhm.
It's not, we divided it into sections because of the artwork.
Yeah.
So, what do you think this top part is and this base part is? See, the way you have it right now is the top part is just, is it the diagram to show how, what the dimension is here? Is that all it is?
Mm,
Or is it the shelving or the interior, or does it go inside the tower?
it is part of the tower.
What part of the tower? You see, you're not being specific enough with what you're labeling these things. Okay. So, what is this top part representational of?
It is
Okay, first of all, Elnara, where does this go?
on the top.
On the top, where? How?
So
You've got to be
we
able to say it
connect,
verbally. You've got to be able to say it verbally before you can even draw it.
we connect four sites. This is one of the sites.
This is
And after And after connecting all four sides, you'll put it on the top of the tower.
It's it's the top interior, it's the top interior stabilizing shelf. It's the top interior stabilizing shelf. Okay. And
But mhm.
it should be shown at an angle so that they don't think that it's completely vertical. You should show it at an angle, even if you put the dimensions in.
Um, but this is not stabilizer, right? This is the top of the tower that I showed here.
Okay. First, we're not using the same language.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a printed part of the tower? Yes or no?
Yes.
Incorrect.
I showed on the other page what I think stabilizer, if I understand you correctly.
You don't understand me correctly. That's the problem.
Okay. Oh,
Okay. If you look at the tower, okay, you're saying that this top piece, right, goes
yes.
like right here in the front.
Yes.
That's incorrect. That's printed onto the tower, just
Yeah.
like the base is printed onto the tower. This is one piece,
Yeah.
okay, where the shelving, right, might be an insert.
Yeah.
What I was trying to tell you before is that you need three interior shelves, one at the bottom, which is a base, one which is right below where the shelving rests on for support, and another one at the top of the tower on the interior where it stabilizes, but it also prevents people from throwing things inside the tower.
Yes.
Now, do you understand that?
Yes.
So what you should do is show something like this, and then you can have, right, the dot 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 extension, and you need to show exactly where it goes inside the tower for each one of those shelves. And the shelves isn't put on there completely vertical like you have it. You should have it at an angle, okay, with the dimensions on it so they can see where it's inserted into the tower.
Okay, so can you open the second image? I just want to make sure, like, uh, stabilizer, does it look like that, or
It doesn't have to be, no, because the thing is that the answer is no. Um, it's more just like a shelf.
so it's just shelf without the down part?
Yes, and if they need a down part attachment,
They
right,
will
then
figure it
they'll
out.
do it. And the thing is that your shelving's not thick enough.
Not thick
So,
enough. Okay.
right? But the thing,
Yeah,
the reason why you don't need this all, you okay, you could do it. I'm gonna, yeah. There's different ways to do it. And yes, you could have done it like a box that fits underneath the shelving. Okay. But the thing is, that's really a separate piece then. What I'm talking about is to have these single panel shelves in 3 different places where I
Yeah, yeah,
describe them
yeah.
so that they basically just unfold
Mm-hmm.
inside and it forms stability. Here, you've got to almost have secondary pieces made and then put together, and it takes a lot more, it's much more costly and much more time consuming for them to go ahead and build the shelf,
Yeah, yeah.
build the unit.
Okay. I will just make it simpler. Also, yeah, on third row I show the shelves.
No,
So is it
I'm sorry. This shelf, the one that is the one that's attached to the bottom one that's attached to the shelving.
yeah,
Okay, that's more of what you want the stabilizer to look like and to show in the diagram.
okay.
Okay, you don't want it flat like this where it's, where it's vertical,
Yeah.
because
But so
they won't understand that. But if
okay.
you do the dotted line at the base, you do another one right below where the insert of the shelving goes in, right? And then you do another one at the top of the tower, right? Then they'll understand it. So this
Yeah.
is the one that's correct. The second one,
And it's also okay for shelves as well, like right? Not
the shelves what?
like yeah, it is okay. It is good as stabilizer, but also I want to ask, like, as shelf, is it also working, or it should be thicker, or
Well, the
it's
thing is that for that shelving, I'm gonna let I'm gonna have them go ahead and show us what they're gonna do and recommend. Because these
okay.
aren't individual shelves that are put into a bookcase. In other
Yeah,
words, they want to design it so that, right, you just snap it and all the shelves are in place.
yeah,
Okay. So they know how to build that type of stuff. Let them go ahead and say this is the right design, to get it done in the quickest way.
mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily want to show them you want to show them the outside dimensions of it for the shelf
Okay.
unit, and then you want to show them the width between the shelves. What's the space between the shelves?
Yeah,
Okay. And then this platform can be used for the interior stabilizer, right? The shelving stabilizers, right? And then the top stabilizer. And that's all
yeah,
you need. Okay. But you also have to show, like you did, the tower together where this goes in. Okay. And then the blow apart where you have each panel, one, two, three, four, okay, and one, two, three, and they're connected,
okay.
okay, and then um, you want to show where the top of the tower is, okay. You want to, we want to see what a different variation would be with these things cut out, okay. So that I don't know if you can see, you couldn't see my cursor probably, but
Yeah, I can.
okay, you want to see where, right? Separate the sky from the tower so it's like removed. And you would say cut, you know.
So I have to cut the sky.
In one of them, in you've got two versions, one this way and one with the sky
Okay.
removed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So it
Yeah,
looks
I can show it when I show the sides of the tower. I can just show the cutout like that, I guess.
well, actually you'd show the four.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then you'd show where it was removed. Then it's really plain for them to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because every additional step that we take is going to add cost to what we're doing.
Okay.
So we want to see it one way and the other way.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that help?
Yes.
I
I
understand
will work.
it was a little bit hard to say conceptually why we're just talking about it without showing.
Yeah. Yeah, I will do now, and I will send you how it goes.
Thank you. And when you send me the PDFs of these images as well, can you have it? Each panel can also be facing front or front facing so that I have a clear PDF of it with the text and everything else visible. Because right now you can't read the text on the towers. Now, it may
Um,
be just because I haven't downloaded it, okay, and then looked at it. But right now, you can't really read what the text is.
are you talking about these visualizations?
Yeah, but I actually want the PDFs for side 1 through 4.
Of just sites, not not this 3D.
I'll also want the 3D one,
Yeah, yeah, but you are talking about sites.
but
Yeah, yeah. You told me to send it. I didn't forget. I just
you haven't gotten
thought.
to it yet. Okay, but
Yes, I will do it.
I want to make sure that you're clear on what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I will send you the. I also can send in design files, but if it's not necessary, then
You can those. I'm going to set up a folder for you, and you can put those on our
yeah,
remote.
yeah. Okay. I will just
So
send
I'll,
you
I'll do
PDFs.
now. Let's just with like one of the. Okay, so let's go.
Also, the last visualization, I think it was good one in store.
Let me see. Let me see. So it's good that yeah. I mean, like this one's really kind of cool. Okay. Um, we just don't want to use all the same people.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And okay. And then can you replace him with the one where he's in a blue suit and a red tie?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and if his arms can be like this, right? You know, his. But the thing is that either you give them an image where it's showing like that, like the one I gave you, because remember, it's always a good idea to have a reference photos for what you're doing. Okay. And then okay, I think that would be really good. Now, the thing is that technically, right, he's in a great position, except his head isn't focused on what they're doing.
Okay. It can be. I can put it a little back, and then you will look
Right. But then
exact.
he's a little bit in the shade,
Yeah.
you see. So it's a half a dozen of one, and the alternative is to, you don't want to move the tower up a little bit, but um is I think the best thing to do is probably move him back a little bit so that he's more in line with the tower.
Okay.
Um, and for the tower, you can have some empty, you can have shelves that are empty, or not shelves, but slots in there where people have taken them out and bought them,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which would look better than just, because we don't know that those are separate images. They look like they're just printed onto the panel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, okay. So which is the one in the store? Is there one of those?
The last picture that I sent you.
This one.
Yes. There's even a man that takes picture.
I don't see why I don't see it.
No, it actually was here before the Trump.
Oh, before Trump? This one?
No, after this one. After that one. Oh my God. It was okay. Yes, this one.
No, who's taking pictures?
See, there's a man behind the tower with his phone.
Oh, that's his phone? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um, what is that group? Okay. You've got a chair and a table with a book on a platform behind them with
Yeah.
two blobs of green growing something that's on a rug, that's on a carpet. What the hell is that? And that person's shopping cart is like, that person must really like snack food because that's all that's in their cart. And I don't know what that is. A kid with no head? What is that? That's like a kid. What
It doesn't-
you know what that thing in the bag is right there? And that person's wearing a purple, or like a not a purple, um,
Pink.
a chartreuse coat, like a winter coat. Meanwhile, the girl doesn't have anything, and she's got bare sleeves.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, make up your mind. Is it summer, winter, what? Okay.
that's true.
Um, but that's okay. And I want to know how she maneuvered the cart around the people that were standing there. She must have good driving skills. Okay. Um, we'll just do more images, and we'll also, then switch over and do some videos and stuff like that. But we've also got to check out all the different dolls, to make sure we got all the sets done, um, as well. But I want to get, if you can give me the diagrams so I can pass them on. I can pass them on. We can go ahead and get the RFQs out,
Okay.
and see how much this monstrosity is going to cost to build.
Okay.
Because right now I have no idea how much it's going to cost to build this thing. And that's the next step of what we should know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you.